Welcome to Vinyasa Flow Yoga. My name is Katie, and today we're going to have a 60-minute practice that focuses on the breath as well as self-observation, and we're also going to get into the lower body as well, specifically the glutes and the calves today. So today all you'll need is your mat, so go ahead and roll that out and get comfortable in your space. Make sure you have some room to move around, and let's get started. So today we're going to start sitting on our heels with our palms face down on our thighs. So this is a nice comfortable position that you can always take when we come into our first pose. If we're in a cross-legged position, you can always come to this pose instead. Sometimes it's a little bit nicer on the knees. But either way, if you need a pillow or anything underneath the legs or the ankles, go ahead and grab that and get comfortable here. So we're going to sit back on the heels, palms face down on your thighs. And just close your eyes to begin. Feel your hips press back and towards your heels so that you begin to feel that initial alignment of your spine. As you press back, it's almost like you're leaning back and towards a wall. So you can let your shoulders roll down and away from your ears. If it feels good to kind of give them a few little circles here to loosen them up, feel free to do that as well. And just let your shoulders open up and back. It's like you're pinching those shoulder blades together, open through the chest. Keep your chin parallel with the earth. Soften through your face. And reach up through the crown of your head. As you're here, just begin to observe the physical state of your body first. So to practice self-observation, We start at that outermost layer. What is my physical body doing in this moment as we practice yoga? After you observe that physical body, begin to delve a little bit deeper into the mind. Observe and notice where the mind is at in this moment. Usually we have a lot of excess chit-chat going on in the brain, and that's totally normal, that's fine. But just begin to observe what those thoughts are, recognize them, and then we're going to leave them at the door to focus on our breath, being present in the moment. So let's begin our breathing here. Deep belly breaths. Inhale in through the nose, fill your belly. Deep exhale out through the nose. Let your belly retract back towards your spine. Nice. You can even place a palm on your belly if you would like to really emphasize that. Inhale in, expand through the belly. Exhale out, let it retract back in. Nice job. Inhale deep in through the nose. Let the belly expand. Press it out towards your palm. And exhale, release that breath back out. A few more like that. Inhale deep into the belly. Let it press in towards your palm. So you're really expanding the belly. And exhale, release that breath out. Retract your belly back. Good. Deep breath in. Fill the belly. Fill the lungs. Feel your belly press out. And then let your belly retract back towards your spine. Soften the breath. Good. One more big breath with your hand on your belly. Press it out. And let that breath go. You can release the hand back towards your thigh. Continue your Ujjayi breathing in and out through the nose. Gentle constriction in the back of the throat. So conscious breathing. And I invite you here, as we are settling into this present moment, to set an intention for this practice. So this intention can be whatever you desire your practice to be centered around. But I invite you to center your attention on practicing self-observation. The study of self-awareness, how we move about in the world and how we act in the world. And how those actions affect others and ourselves. Just always observing. Good. Once you settle on your intention, let's take a deep breath. Reach your arms up and overhead. Extend those fingertips towards the sky. And then as you exhale, let's take our hands behind our back to interlace the fingers. So as you interlace your hands, roll your shoulders down and away from your ears. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another like you're reaching your fist away. Press your heart forward. Deep breath in, lift through your heart. Now as you exhale, bend your elbows and take your fist to the left. So you're going to take your fist till it wraps around the left side of your waist. Yeah. So your left elbow will be bending a lot while your right arm is straight. You should feel a nice stretch through the right side of your neck and trap and shoulder. Deep breath in, lift through the crown of your head. Now take your left ear to your left shoulder. Emphasize that stretch through that right trap. Good. Feel that nice length all the way down in towards that right shoulder. One more breath here. Good, and next inhale, let's come back through center, lift back up through the crown of your head, extend your fist straight back behind you once more, open through the heart, and then begin to bend your left elbow, take your fist to your right hip or right side waist. Your right elbow is bent a lot so that you can really pull that left arm over. Lift up through the crown of your head, and now take your right ear towards your right shoulder. You should feel that nice length through that left side as you drop the left shoulder down. You should feel a nice stretch through that left trap. Take one more big breath here. Good, and let's come back through center. Stretch those hands back behind you. Squeeze through your shoulder blades. Let your shoulders drop slightly. Nice. And let's just release those hands. Take them down to the earth. Shift your hips to either side as you extend your legs out in front of you. Flex through your feet. So remove the flesh from underneath your sits bones. Ground down through your seat. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just begin to hinge forward. Grab a hold of your left outer blade of your foot. Begin to lift your left heel up and pull your left knee back, giving a nice deep stretch in towards your hips. So it's like you're creating a bow and arrow with that left leg. Pull the left knee back, flex through that left foot. Deep breath in, lift through your heart. And then let's take that left ankle to the top of your right thigh. So you're creating a figure 4. Keep your left foot flexed. Take your left hand to press your left knee down towards the mat. Go ahead. Take your right hand, you can place it on your left foot. As you inhale, lift through your heart, shoulders back. Now as you exhale, begin to lean forward and press your left hand in towards that left knee. You should feel a nice stretch through the outer piriformis, the outer hip, the glutes, maybe even a little bit into the low back and hamstrings. Deep breath here. Good, exhale it out. Nice, let's inhale, rise up. Begin to lift your left knee towards your chest as you take your left foot to the outside of your right knee. Good. Inhale, both arms up to the sky, reach up. Now as you exhale, take your left hand down behind you, right hand comes across the front of your left knee. So you're hugging that left knee up and in as you roll your left shoulder back. Sit up tall, gaze out past that left shoulder. So you begin to feel a nice twist through the spine as you ground through your hips. Hug that left knee towards your chest. Good, now next inhale, let's come back through center. Grab a hold of that left foot with your left hand and let's reverse the motion. So take that left knee back towards your left shoulder like a bow and arrow. And place that left foot all the way back up to meet the right. We'll switch sides. Grab a hold of that right foot with your right hand and begin to pull up and back through your right heel. So you create that nice bow and arrow on the right side. Lift up through your heart. Flex both feet strongly. Lift and breathe, inhale. And as you exhale, let's take that right ankle to the top of that left thigh. Create your figure 4. So flex your right foot, take your right hand and place it on your right knee. Left hand can be on your right foot. Begin to press that right knee down and away from your body. Lift through your chest, shoulders back. Now as you exhale, begin to hinge forward as you press your right hand down so you really feel a nice stretch through the outer right hip. Into the piriformis, into the glutes. Maybe even low back and hamstrings. Let your weight pull forward while your heart presses towards your shin. Good. Inhale, let's rise up. Take your right foot to the outside of your left knee as you hug your right knee towards your chest. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And now as you exhale, take your right hand down to the earth behind you. Left arm wraps up and around that right knee as you gaze out past your right shoulder. So you're twisting to the right, but hugging your right knee towards your chest and allowing yourself to get really nice and deep in that right glute and the right piriformis, all the way up through the low back, open through the shoulders. Nice, let's come back through center. Grab a hold of that right foot with your right hand. Let's begin to reverse the motion. So hug that right knee towards your right side waist, pull back like a bow and arrow, and then begin to set your right foot all the way back down out in front of you. Nice work. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Now as you exhale, let's take our hands down by your sides, shift forward, cross your ankles, take your hands out in front, come into your tabletop position. Shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. And let's begin to move through our cat-cow breathing. Inhale, let your shoulders roll back as your tailbone lifts high, look up to the sky. And as you exhale, let's begin to curl up and in, tuck your chin, arch through your spine, cat pose. Inhale for cow, shoulders back, tailbone high. Exhale for cat, tuck up and in, tuck your chin. Good, big breath, roll your shoulders back, lift through your heart. Exhale, curl back up and in, tuck your chin. One more round. Inhale, shoulders back, tailbone high, undulate through your spine. And exhale, curl back up and in, tuck your chin. Let's move back through a neutral spine. Ground through those palms, spread your fingers wide. Tuck your toes behind you. Press your hips back towards your heels. So just pause here and feel that nice stretch through the arches of the feet. Ground through your hands, spread your fingers wide, shoulders back, big breath in. Now as you exhale, begin to lift your knees up off the mat and lift your hips towards the sky. Come into our first downward facing dog. Ground through your palms, lift through your hips, and just let yourself kind of sway the hips side to side. Maybe even pedal through the feet, bending one knee and then the other. Just find some subtle movements or even big expressive movements that feel right here to open up through the legs, through the arms, shoulders, heart. Let yourself find these movements for another breath or two. Just reawakening through the body. Finding these subtle movements, getting those little fidgets out, maybe even shaking your head out, yes and no. And then once you pause into stillness, hands or shoulders width distance, spread your fingers wide, ground through those palms, hips rise high, relax through the head and neck. Feet are about hips width distance, so that's about 6 to 8 inches apart. Your hips are the highest point on the mat. Good, so let's move into a nice little calf stretch here. Let's inhale, reach our right leg high to the sky and just reach it right up. And then hug your right knee towards your chest. Take your right foot to cross over the front of your left. So you want to take your right calf to press in towards your left shin and then begin to press in towards the earth so your hips lift high to the sky. Keep your shoulders squared off as your hips lift up. You should feel a nice length through the back of that left heel. Good. Inhale, right knee towards your chest. Extend your right leg all the way up to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Feel that nice opening through the inner thigh. Reach that right knee high. And then let's take that right foot back down to the mat in downward facing dog. We'll switch sides. Big breath in. Reach your left leg high to the sky. Just reach it straight up. And then exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Cross your left leg over the right. So your left calf will press in towards your right shin. Lift through your hips, ground through that right heel. You should feel a nice deep stretch all the way down into the Achilles, through the calf, potentially even up through the glutes and hips. Good. Inhale, take your left knee towards your chest. And extend your left leg up to the sky. Begin to bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Feel that reach through the left knee, inner thigh opening up, square through those shoulders, deep breath. And then exhale, begin to lower that left foot down to meet the right. Big breath in, lift through your hips. And as you exhale, begin to tiptoe those feet all the way up to the top of the mat. Take your feet between your wrists. Bend your knees a lot here. Grab a hold of opposite elbows, ragdoll arms, and just let your head and neck relax in that window that you've created with the arms. Take a nice sway side to side if that feels right. Maybe pause on one side and pause on the other and just feel a nice length through the rib cage, through the outer hip. Ground through your feet, maybe even play with shifting forward and back along the length of your feet, along the soles of the feet. Relax through the head and neck for another 2 breaths here. Remember, the bending of the knees allows the low back to expand and just kind of open the hamstrings naturally. You may even feel this stretch all the way into the calves along the back side of the body. Last breath here. Good, and let's release those hands down to the earth. Bend your knees a lot. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Let's begin to unravel our spine until we come all the way up. Take your time. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and open your shoulders down the back. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Look up, create length. Now as you exhale, let's take our hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Roll your shoulders down and away, lift through your heart, and squeeze your shoulder blades together as you look up towards the sky. Subtle back bend, but big stretch through the shoulders. Good, inhale, reach your arms back up to the sky. Now as you exhale, let's swan dive forward. Soften your knees, come all the way down towards your toes. Relax your head and neck forward, fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift, flat spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back into high plank pose. Big breath in. Let's keep those hips in line with the shoulders. Shoulders are right over your wrists. Create strength through your core as you press down in towards your palms. Big breath here. And then exhale, let's take our knees to the mat. Walk your hands forward. Anahatanasana, puppy dog pose. Let your heart melt down. Let your shoulders roll back. Gaze forward. Really let that heart sink low. Now as you take your next inhale, let's come onto our forearms. Slide your knees back. Sphinx pose. Elbows are just slightly in front of the shoulders. Lift through your heart, shoulders back. Create some traction through your forearms as you lift up through the chest. Good, exhale, lower your heart down. Let's tent our hands to the outside of the mat and begin to circle your shoulders side to side. Allow the upper thoracic spine to become free. Turn your chin towards one side and then the other. Work through the head and neck and the shoulders, maybe even twist to get deep into the lumbar spine. Okay, let's come back through center. Take your time. Take your hands under the shoulders. Roll your shoulders back, point your elbows back. Inhale, low cobra. Press your heart forward, elbows point back, hips are grounded. Tuck your toes behind you, press your hips back towards your heels, and then lift your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out. Bend your knees, look to the top of your mat, step or even lightly hop all the way up between your wrists. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift, flat spine, fingertips graze your shins or the earth. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, tuck your chin. Let's unravel the spine. Come all the way up to standing. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Let your shoulders shrug up towards your ears and open down the back. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Look up. Exhale, open your arms out, take your hands behind your back, soften your knees as you lift through your chest, roll your shoulders back, reach that fist back behind you, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, soften your knees once more, reach your arms back up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, open your arms out, relax your head and neck down towards your shins. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift, flat spine. Exhale, plant your palms. Step your feet back, high plank pose. Big breath in. Exhale, take your knees to the mat. Slide those palms forward, melt your heart down. Puppy dog pose, gaze out in front of you. Inhale, shift onto your forearms. Slide your knees back. Pull your heart through. Sphinx pose. Exhale, lower your chest. Tent your hands. Lift up through those elbows and roll the shoulders side to side. Free flowing cobra. Good. Let's come back through center. Hands are right under the shoulders. Inhale, lift through your heart, low cobra, elbows point back, shoulders back. Tuck through your toes, press your hips back towards your heels, and lift your hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. And now as you exhale, gaze to the top of the mat, bend your knees, step or even lightly hop all the way up to the top. Let's take our feet together, bend your knees deeply. Inhale, swoop your arms up towards the sky for chair pose. Relax your shoulders down your back, feel the weight pull back and towards your heels. Now as you inhale, begin to lift your left knee up towards your chest, keep both knees bent. Relax your shoulders down your back. Good. Inhaling. Exhale, let's switch sides. Bend both knees, lower your left foot, hug your right knee up and in towards your chest. Both knees are still bent. Stay here for a full breath. Keep both knees bent. Relax through your shoulders. Good, and lower your right foot down. Inhale, just chair pose. Exhale, hands to the earth, hips high, relax your head and neck. Inhale, lengthen halfway, uplift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose. Take an inhale breath in here. Now as you exhale, we're gonna lower through chaturanga. So point those elbows back, lower halfway. Shoulders come in line with the elbows. Inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back, roll to the tops of your feet, lift through your thighs, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll back through your toes, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Full breath in, and full breath out. Take an inhale, reach your right leg high to the sky, bend your right knee, stack your hips open, reach up through your right knee. Now as you exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Keep your back knee lifted. Inhale, take your right arm up to the sky, roll your right shoulder back. So you're gonna twist to the right. Keep your left hand down, pull your right knee towards your chest. Good, strong and straight through that back leg. Press back through your left heel. Now listen closely. You're gonna keep your arms as they are, ground through your right foot, and just begin to lift your torso up. So you're reaching back, twisting to the right. Yeah, good. Roll that right shoulder back, twist to the right, bend deep into your front knee. Nice. Now inhale, let's take both our arms up to the sky, crescent pose. Now as you exhale, open your arms out, lengthen your right leg, hinge forward, hover over your right thigh, and begin to take your hands down towards the mat to frame your right foot. Relax your head and neck into a modified pyramid pose. Good. Inhale, let's shift forward, low lunge. Tuck your back toes, and we're just gonna send our right leg all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog, reach it high. And lower your right foot down to meet the left. Take a full breath in, and a full breath out. Inhale, left leg to the sky, reach it high, bend your left knee to stack your hips open. Keep those shoulders squared off. Reach that left knee high, feel a nice opening through the inner thigh. Now as you exhale, let's hug that left knee towards the chest. Place the left foot to the top of the mat. Keep your right hand down as you inhale, left arm to the sky. Roll that left shoulder back. Pull your left knee towards your chest. So you're stacking your shoulders. Grounding through that left foot, reach back through the right heel, strong and straight through the back leg. Now keep your arms exactly as they are. Ground into your left foot. We're going to inhale and lift our torso so that we're reaching back. The left arm reaches back, right arm forward, twisting to the left. So you should feel a deep stretch through that left side waist. Good job, deep breath here. On your next inhale, let's swoop that left arm up to the sky, crescent pose. Exhale, Open your arms like wings. Begin to hinge forward over that left thigh as you lengthen your left leg. Take your hands down to the earth into a modified pyramid pose. So you want to square those hips off. Relax the head and neck. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, rebend your left knee. Take your left leg all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog, reach it high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath here. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, bend your knees, look to the top of the mat, step or even hop all the way up between your wrists. Take your feet together, bend your knees. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Good. Now as you exhale, this time let's take our hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your left knee towards your chest, but keep both knees bent. Good. Now let's take our left ankle to the top of our right thigh. Flex your left foot a lot. Good. Bend your right knee. Get low in the legs. You want to press your hips back as your shoulders roll back. So there's a slight back bend here. You should feel a deep stretch in your left glute through your left ear. Piriformis, keep that left foot flexed. Deep breath, stay with it. Nice job. Now let's inhale, lift our left knee towards our chest. Lower the left foot down. Let's switch sides. Hug your right knee towards your chest. Pull it in close. Flex your right foot. Bend your left knee as you take your right ankle to the top of your left thigh. Create a figure 4 on the right side. So you want to fan out through your tailbone. So it's like you're pressing your tailbone back as your heart presses towards your thumbs. Roll your shoulders back, get low. Really bend that left knee. You'll feel a deep stretch in that right glute. Good. Nice job, everybody. Let's slowly come out of this. Hug your right knee towards your chest. Lower your right foot down to meet the left. Inhale, let's rise all the way up to standing. Reach our arms up and overhead. Look up, create length. And exhale, soften your knees. Swan dive forward. Relax your head and neck all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose, big breath in. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift those hips high. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Left hand stays down. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Roll your right shoulder back. Stay for the exhale. Ground through your right foot. Inhale, rise up into your twist. So reach that right hand back, left arm forward. Inhale, both arms up to the sky, Crescent Pose. Exhale, begin to lengthen your right leg, swan dive towards your right leg for modified pyramid pose. Relax your head and neck. Take one full breath here, hips square off. Inhale, lift through your heart. Exhale, bow in a little bit deeper. Inhale, rebend your right knee, send your right leg all the way up to the sky, reach it high. And lower your right foot down to meet the left. Inhale your left leg high, bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of the mat. Right hand is down, left arm to the sky, big breath in, roll your left shoulder back, stay for the exhale. Inhale, let's rise up, reach back through that left hand. Sink in on your exhale. Inhale, both arms rise to the sky, Crescent Pose. Exhale, begin to lengthen your left leg, swan dive towards that left leg for modified pyramid pose. Let's take a full breath here in pyramid pose. So when you inhale, you're just lengthening your spine, heart towards your toes. And your exhale, you melt in a little bit closer towards that left leg. Good. Next inhale, we begin to bend that left knee. Send your left foot all the way up towards the sky. Three-legged dog, reach up high. Good. Exhale, lower left foot down to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. And big breath out. Bend your knees, look to the top of the mat. Step or lightly hop all the way up. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift, shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. So this time bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, chair pose. Exhale, let's take our hands to heart center. Inhale, take your left knee up towards your wrists, and then take your left ankle, cross it over the top of your right knee as you sink in low, bend your right knee. So you have an option, you can stay right here, and just like we did last time. If you want a little bit more, you begin to fold forward. So you kind of hinge forward. Maybe your hands come down towards the earth, maybe just the tips of your fingers, maybe your hands come down. Maybe you're just reaching down and feeling that weight getting deeper in your left hip. Wherever you are, deep breath. Keep flexing that left foot, keep bending your right knee. Deep breath. This is a nice deep stretch in that left outer hip. Good job. Ground through that right foot. Begin to rise up if you're not already. Hands to your heart. Take your left knee back towards your chest. We'll switch sides. Take your left foot down. Right knee towards your chest. Hug it in. Take your right ankle to the top of your left thigh. Press your right knee down. Bend your left knee. Sit your hips back. So again, you can stay right here playing with this balance, feeling this nice stretch. If you want a little bit more through that outer hip, begin to lead through your heart towards your shin. And maybe your hands come down towards the earth. Maybe they touch the earth. Maybe your right toes even begin to hook around that left tricep as you get lower. You really want to bend that left knee and flex your right foot though. Protect the knee. Feel that stretch in the outer right hip. Last breath here. Nice job, everybody. Ground through that left foot. Take your hands back through heart center. Ground in. Take your right knee towards your chest and lower your right foot down. Chair pose. Inhale, lengthen everything up. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Look up. Now as you exhale, let's forward fold. Soften the knees. Relax the head and neck. Come all the way down. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Lift, shoulders back. Now as you exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back, high plank pose, big breath in. As you exhale, let's lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Lift your hips high. Now inhale, take your right leg up to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, begin to hug your right knee towards your chest. And then take your right foot all the way out to the left. So the outer blade of your right foot comes all the way off your mat to the left. Spin your left toes to the left. Left arm to the sky. Fallen star, fallen angel. Side plank with your right leg extended. Yeah, there it is. Good job. Roll that left shoulder back, lift through your hips. This is a lot of core work. There's a lot of opening through the waist as well. Good, one more breath here. And then take that left arm to reach forward, down to the earth. Hug your right knee back towards your chest. Extend your right leg all the way up to the sky. And lower your right foot down to meet the left. Switch sides. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, stack your hips open. And then as you exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. And then begin to extend that left leg all the way out to the right. Turn all 10 toes over to the right. Take the outer blade of that left foot down, right arm to the sky. Nice job. Roll that right shoulder back. You got it. Lift through your hips. Yes, that's it. Deep breath. Now let's begin to take our right hand down towards the earth. Spin your hips back square to the mat. Hug your left knee in and extend your left leg all the way up to the sky. Three-legged dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath here. And exhale it out. Nice. Let's inhale our right leg to the sky. Bend your right knee, stack your hips open. Exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Place your right foot to the top of your mat, and let's rise to Crescent Pose. Inhale, reach your arms high to the sky. Good. Now as you exhale, let's take our hands to heart center. Hinge forward so that you hover over your right thigh. Roll your shoulders back, press through your collarbones towards the front of your room. Now as you exhale, begin to take your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Good. Try to get a nice hook with that left tricep along the outer edge of that right knee. Press your heart towards heart center, your heart towards your thumbs towards heart center. Roll your right shoulder back. Maybe even look out past that right shoulder. Deep twist. Keep that back leg strong and straight. Yeah, there you go. Good adjustments. Deep breath here. Nice. Let's ground through that right foot. Keep strong through that right leg. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Good. Now lengthen your right leg. Open your arms out. Begin to hinge forward. Take your hands down towards the earth. Modified pyramid pose. Take a breath in. Press your right hip back. Shoulders back. Now as you exhale, forward fold. Relax your head and neck down towards that right shin. Good. Let's take our left hand down underneath our left shoulder. Keep your hips square. So take your right hand to your right hip. Press your right hip back. So you're manually pulling that right hip back. There it is. Good job. So keep your hips exactly like that. Now reach your right arm to the sky. Good. There it is. Keep those hips squared off. Roll your right shoulder back. This is a modified revolved triangle pose. Stack through those shoulders. Maybe even look at your right thumb all the way up towards the sky. Nice job. Deep breath here. Good. Now as you exhale, lower your right hand down. Rebend your right knee. Lower your back knee down. Untuck your toes. Inhale. Take your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back. Press into that right foot. Lift through your heart. Shoulders back. Lift through your chin. Good. Sink your hips low. Get a nice deep stretch. As you take your next inhale, begin to release your hands down to the earth. Heel toe your right foot off the right side edge of your mat. Open your right knee out. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Roll your shoulders back. Take an inhale in. Now as you exhale, you can begin to come down onto your forearms if that feels right. Relax your head and neck. Deep breath here. Good. Wherever you are, you're getting deep in that inner hip and that left quad and inner left psoas as well. Good. Inhale, begin to walk your hands back up. Heel toe your right foot to the center of your mat. Shift your hips back, flex your right foot. Take an inhale, lengthen your heart towards your toes. And an exhale, fold in, relax your head and neck.
One more big breath in, lift through your heart. And exhale, fold. Good, now let's inhale, shift forward, tuck your back toes. Send your right leg all the way up to the sky through three-legged dog, stretch it up high. And lower your right foot down to meet the left. Let's switch sides. So inhale, left leg to the sky, reach it high, bend your left knee, let your hips stack open. Exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest. Place your left foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, let's rise, Crescent Pose. Now as you exhale, take your hands to heart center. Hinge forward, hover over that left thigh. Begin to take your right elbow towards the outer edge of that left leg. So you hook it around the outer left thigh. Use your elbow as leverage here. Press down to rotate your rib cage towards the sky. Roll that left shoulder back, thumbs towards your heart center. Press your chest towards the left. This is a nice deep stretch in that left outer hip. Deep breath here. Really lengthen through that right leg. Good. Ground in towards your left foot. Inhale, rise up, Crescent Pose. Exhale, begin to lengthen your left leg. Open your arms out like wings and fold forward. So we're coming into our modified pyramid pose. Square your hips forward. Inhale, lengthen through your heart towards your toes. Exhale, forward fold. So we're gonna come into our modified revolved triangle. So your right hand will stay down. Left hand comes to your left hip. So self-adjust here. Press your left hip back so they're squared off. You really feel an emphasis on that left outer hip. Yeah, you can adjust the feet as you need. Roll your left shoulder back and take your left arm to the sky as you're ready. Stack your shoulders, square those hips out. This is a nice deep stretch through that outer hip, IT bends, into the glutes and even into the calves. Stack those shoulders, deep breath in. Good, exhale, lower left hand down to the earth. Rebend that left knee, take your right knee down. Hands come behind the back, interlace your fingers. Inhale, lift your heart from your thigh, roll your shoulders back, look up. Press your hips low. Open through the chest, open through the front of that right hip. Good, let's slowly come down. Hands to the earth. Heel toe your left foot to the outer left edge of the mat. Toes can point out slightly. Bend that left knee. Make sure your knee is over the ankle. Hands right under your shoulders. Shoulders back. Inhale. Lazy lizard pose. You can stay right here on your hands. If you want, you can begin to bend your elbows, maybe onto a block or even all the way to the earth. Let your hips sink in as your left knee opens out. Head and neck relaxes in whichever variation you are in. Good, one more breath. Begin to make your way back up onto your hands if you're not already. And then let's heel toe that left foot to the center of the mat. Shift your hips back, flex your left foot. Take an inhale, lengthen your heart towards your toes. And then exhale, half splits. Forward fold towards that left leg. Keep your left foot flexed. Keep your hips square. Remember, always lead through your heart, shoulders back. Yeah, nice. Good. One more inhale. Exhale it out. Let's inhale, shift forward into a low lunge. Tuck your right toes. Take your left leg all the way up to the sky. Reach it high. And exhale, lower left foot down to meet the right. Big breath in. And exhale it out. Now let's begin to tiptoe the feet up to the center of the mat. Take your feet together. Bend your knees as you lift your heels up off the mat. Lower your hips towards your heels. Yeah, so you come into a stand on the balls of your feet. Hands will tent on either side of you, slightly in front. And you can stay right here as you kind of curl in, taking your forehead towards your knees. Or you can begin a little bit of a balance challenge. If you want, you can take your forearms to wrap around your shins, grab a hold of opposite elbows, tuck your chin towards your chest. Deep breath here. Keep your gaze on the earth. Nice, and now let's release those hands down. Take your hands to shift slightly behind you so you can take your hips down to the mat. Come to seated. And we're gonna come into fire logs or double pigeon. So I'm just turning so you can see. But we're gonna take our right foot down first. So flex your right foot, bend your right knee, and then take your left ankle. Place it on the top of your right knee, kind of like on the thigh knee area, that meaty little spot. So flex both feet, and you might be right here. Your knee might be way lifted up. The idea is to get your left shin to stack on top of the right, so you want them to be in line with one another. So if you're right here, totally cool if you feel that nice stretch through the outer hip. If you want a little bit more, you can take your left hand to press the left knee down towards your right ankle. Right hand will just place softly on the left ankle. So eventually, you'll stack your shins like fire logs. Deep breath here, shoulders back. One thing I find ironic about the name of this posture is a lot of times your hips literally feel like they might be on fire. Depends. Some people love it. Deep breath in through the nose, fill the belly. Let your breath relax the shoulders. Take another big breath in. And exhale out. Nice job. Let's just switch sides by shifting back onto your hips. Release your left leg, release your right. You can extend your legs out and kind of shake them out if that feels good too. Kind of take your hands along the outer hips, give them a little love there. And we'll switch sides when you're ready. So we'll start with that left leg underneath. Flex your left foot, that protects your knee. So you want it to create that nice figure four like we've been doing throughout class. Then begin to take your right ankle to the top of your left knee. So again, this might be your pose right here. Your right knee might be way lifted up and that's fine. You can stay right here. If you do know that you want to go further in the hips, your right hand can press on your right knee and gently press it down towards your left shin so that your shins stack like logs. Double pigeon. Left hand can just rest on your right foot. Shoulders back, close the eyes. Again, just let yourself sit in this feeling. Let yourself feel what's going on through the hips. Let yourself release with the breath. Every inhale, deep into the low belly. Every exhale, releasing, melting towards the earth a little bit more. Let's take one more big breath. Inhale into the belly. And exhale it out. Nice job. Let's shift those hips back. Extend the legs out, shake them out, make them like jello. Again, you can take your hands to kind of beat along the outer hip, giving yourself a little bit of a massage. Get the blood flow back into those areas. Nice. And now flex your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, hinge forward, reach towards those toes, lengthen forward, and you can begin to relax your arms down by your sides, tuck through your chin into a nice relaxed forward fold. Deep breath in, and exhale, release it out. One more inhale in. And now as you exhale, release. And begin to tuck your chin towards your chest with your next inhale. Begin to roll up. But we're gonna roll right back down onto the mat. So you're gonna come into laying on your back. Release your hands by your sides, palms face up. Begin to take one knee at a time towards your chest. And then extend your legs up towards the sky. Just come into a simple inversion here. If you know and like to practice shoulder stance, feel free to take that here as well. But we're just gonna simply let our legs rise towards the sky and release the blood flow from the feet, from the legs, down towards your torso. You can even shake your legs out, make them like jello. We worked a lot of opening and strengthening through the legs today. So just notice any differences you might feel through the lower half of the body, through those hips, through the sacrum. One more breath with those feet lifted. You can even roll those ankles out if that feels good. And let's take our knees towards our chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Take a big squeeze. Hug your knees in. Deep breath in. Now as you exhale, just let everything go. Let your toes drop out. Let your palms face up. Close your eyes here. Let go of all control.
Night on a big white ship, seagulls were dancing all around. I woke up with a sunrise on the sea, such a precious gift to me. A salty breeze and the waves, a slow pace. A salty breeze and the waves.
If you have the gift of time, feel free to stay in your Shavasana as long as you would like. In fact, I encourage you to stay here even longer in this meditative state. But if you are ready,
just begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers.
Beauty of this life.
Maybe roll off to one side or the other. Come into a fetal position.
In my
And as you're ready, take your time using your hands as eyes to crawl yourself up into a nice, easy seated position. Keep your eyes closed. And with your eyes closed, inhale your arms up towards the sky, reach up. And exhale your hands to heart center, bow your chin. Take a moment to reflect back on the intention made at the beginning of class. If you made that intention that I proposed of self-observation, being able to see the self from outside of the self, acknowledging our actions, our thoughts, and how they project into the world. Reflect on what that might mean for you in your daily life, how you meet and receive others. And continue to do the work in self-observation day to day. And let's honor the light that dwells within each and every one of us. Namaste. So thank you so much for joining me in practice today. If you join me on Zoom, feel free to stay and we can chat after. If you're here on YouTube, if you like what you saw and you want to see more, feel free to hit that subscribe button or even the little bell that will alert you when I do go live. If you have any questions, comments, or anything you would like me to know, you can feel free to DM me at Katie Marie Yoga on Instagram or even right here in the comments. Again, thank you so much and aloha.